So you went from 120 to 57 kgs in a year.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. That's an entire person.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
And I can honestly say, the healthy way.
You're not going to live a long, healthy
Yeah.
life. If you want longevity, obesity is not going to get
Absolutely,
you there.
Absolutely.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not a bread person anymore. I lived on bread. Bread made me fat. Bread, butter and cheese. That was it.
A lot of people also lose weight. Let's say they lose 10 kgs, but they'll actually lost 5 kgs of muscle. That's not what you want.
Yeah.
You want to lose fat.
If you've got an unhealthy gut, and it's so easy to have an unhealthy gut, you've got a problem.
It's also an escape from reality. When you're at the gym, you're no one's wife, you're no one's mother, you're no one's child, you're no one's... You are just you.
I've been there from the very start. The befores, the slumps, then coming back up. And then when she walked through and she said, "Today's the day," I was like, let's do this.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another podcast of Man in the Arena. My name is Debi Geyer, and if you don't know what Man in the Arena is, it's basically a poem by Teddy Roosevelt, ex-president of the United States. It basically says, in the game of life, you want to be in the game of life. You don't want to be on the outside. But don't take it too literally, because it's not about man in the arena. It's about us humans in the arena. So today we have two amazing superhumans. We've got Debi and we've got Sarah. Now, in a little bit, while we're talking, you're going to see a picture of Debi about 1.5 years ago. Debi?
Yeah. No. Yeah, about 1.5 years ago.
So 1.5 years ago, you were literally twice the person that you are now. Give us a little bit of a background there.
Okay, so I think my journey started, what is it now, 2024. 2022, I started doing a whole lot of research on what I needed to do.
Okay.
But
so
Okay.
You did this research, but what prompted you to do the research? I mean, if I'm not mistaken, you weighed about 120 kilograms and now you're 60. So in
I'm 57.
57, there we go. It's even going, it's going, yeah. So
Don't forget those 3 kgs.
What prompted you to sit down and say, I need to change my life?
I think, first of all, it was all about health. My health was suffering. I had ridiculously high blood pressure. I had a cholesterol problem, back pain, everything that goes with being obese, I had. And I remember going to my doctor, Dr. Torrison, Karen's husband, and him saying, we've got to get this blood pressure down, you know. And on the 1st of February last year, I made a conscious decision, that's it.
So you went from 120 to 57 kgs in a year.
Yeah.
Now, growing up, were you always overweight? Were you always...
No. I was never overweight as a child. Never overweight during school. I think I start, in terms of being overweight, about 1998, 1999, 2000. Yeah, I got really, really, really overweight. Yeah.
So you decided now you want to make the change, and to everybody out there, I'm sure there's thousands, millions of people around the world who are overweight and now want to lose weight. What sort of research did you do that allowed you to make these informed decisions?
All right. In terms of research and dieting, I didn't want to go, okay, from the 1st of February, I'm going to do keto or Atkins, or I didn't want that. So I researched in terms of, and I think that comes out in my morning shake that I have every day, which has changed my life. So for me, it was researching everything that I believed my body needed, you know, separate from Sarah, what my body needed in terms of nutrition. So I started researching all the superfoods that I needed for my protein.
So what is superfoods if somebody doesn't understand it?
Okay. So for me, I started researching all superfoods in terms of powders for a shake. You know, baobab, cacao, camu berry, cinnamon. What are all the things I have in my shake, Karen? Flax seeds, chia seeds. There's a whole list of them. Okay. So it wasn't just a case of, okay, I'm going to have these because these are superfoods and they're good for us. Yeah. It was, will my body benefit from this? So, I would I would lie in bed for hours at night time and just make lists and lists and lists. And yeah.
I think one of her main things as well is
Yeah.
instead of seeing like what do I need to cut out, she's
Yeah.
rather researched in a more positive way what does
Yes.
my body need
Yes.
instead of what do I need to
Yeah.
cut out.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is Sarah. Sarah is your
Personal trainer.
personal trainer. Sarah, how did this combination come together?
Debbie is a very determined person, so if she sets her eye on something that she wants, she gets it.
What did you think when you saw Debbie for the first time? She walked into your office or she walked into the gym. What did you think?
She was very she's if I think of Debbie, I say she's a very specific person. She was like determined, confident. She knew exactly what she wanted. She phoned me. She was like, "We're having coffee. I'm going to be your biggest loser." That's what she said to me. She said, she phoned me and I don't know her from above, so if she phoned me, she said, "That's me." She said, "We are having coffee. We are making a plan." And I said, "Okay." Someone that you just listen to and say yes.
Okay, so you mentioned the breakfast shake. That's something you start with. How does the rest of the day go in terms of nutrition?
Okay. So my breakfast shake literally is a liter. It's a liter and it has everything in it. Blueberries. I have a banana every single morning. I believe in berries. The more berries, the better. I can give you a list of my shake, but it's that long. For the rest of the day, mid-morning, I squeeze 2 lemons with hot water, and I have a half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, ginger, and turmeric every day. I'll also sometimes during the day I'll have 1 cup of coffee, but it'll have a teaspoon of cinnamon in it, black. Lunchtime, I have to have lots of protein.
Okay.
So
Yes.
lunch.
This diet that you've got, and we'll go through it. Is there something Sarah helped with? And-
I help, I give advice, but at the end of the day, Debbie also wants what she wants. I just try to assist people to make something that is sustainable for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if that's something she wants to do and she's passionate and she enjoys it, that's great. For some people, that might not be the sustainable way for them to.
I think the word we're touching on here is sustainability. Because
Yes,
Yeah.
people start something,
yes.
they either lose a lot of weight and then they put on a lot of weight again. That
Yes.
yo-yo effect. As I was saying earlier, before we stepped into the studio, I don't like the word diet, because diet to me implies stop, start, stop, start. But this seems to be more of a lifestyle change.
Yes.
You've completely changed your life.
And it needs to be fluid. So she doesn't necessarily eat the same lunch and the same supper every day. It's what she prepares on that day.
Okay. So you've got, a lot of people, they think, well, let me just take a pill. There's a pill now for everything. You can take a pill for this, take a pill for that. What are your thoughts on supplements that people are taking?
Well, in terms of diet pill, are you talking about
Yeah,
dieting
they're talking-
tablets?
yeah,
I can't do that.
Okay.
There was a lot of talk, obviously, losing weight and what are you on, what dieting pill are you taking? I take lots of supplements in terms of
Nutritional supplements.
nutritional supplements. I take a lot of them. There was a lot of talk. Are you asking me the question, could I take a dieting pill? Could
Yeah,
I?
yeah.
Definitely not.
No.
There were lots of rumors about a gastric bypass.
Yes,
Gastric
a lot of
bypass. There
people
were a lot
assume
of
that.
rumors about that.
Because they saw the end result and they
Yeah,
didn't see
yeah.
her every single day.
Single day, yeah. So there were a lot of rumors going around town that I'd had a gastric bypass, and no, for me, Dharmesh, it was all. I had to start this journey, but it had to be healthy. It had to work for me. And Sarah guides me in terms of my protein, which I never default on.
Okay.
I have what I need every day, whether it's a chicken breast, whether it's fish, whether it's sardines, all those things I love. I make sure I have the right amount of protein, every day. But that shake literally is the best part of my day.
Okay, that's what starts your day.
Yes.
Yeah, the 2 best parts of every day of my life, every single day of my life, is Sarah. I go to her early in the morning, and literally, she's changed my world. Not only is she, for me, the greatest trainer on earth, but she's a human being that is so special to me. She's the most unbelievable girl. So I think for anybody to be trained by her and just be part of her energy every day has inspired me. Every day. She's just amazing. And I think as humans, when we start this sort of journey, it's important. You know, I met I think my interview with Sarah when I asked to meet her, I think it was in March, and I think I started with her in April. But I wanted like a little bit of I started my journey on the 1st of February, but I was just an Oompa Loompa. So I needed a little bit of time before I started with her.
Just to get it in my mind.
Yeah.
We're in early Feb now. You're telling me this has happened in a year.
Yeah.
In a year. You know, some people might be thinking it was 2 years ago.
No.
So within 12 months, you went from...
She obviously lost a little bit of weight before she met me.
Yeah, okay.
I lost a little bit.
So you went from 120 to 57 kgs in a year.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. That's an entire person.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
And I can honestly say the healthy way. Karen, my PA, I mean, she's been with me. She's watched this whole journey as well. She knows what I do every day. She knows what I do, what I give my body. There's no things, I think with thin, slimming tablets, thins, there's nothing like that. Nothing like that. I had to do this, but become the healthiest version of myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, because throughout the ages, I mean, we've all heard of this fad diets. You've got some of them work, like you've got the Atkins, you've got the keto. During the 1930s, people would only eat prunes.
Banting.
There was even a case of women wiring their jaws shut, so that you could only,
crazy.
you know, people do things, extraordinary things to try and lose weight. When the reality is, the foundation blocks are quite simple. It's
Create a calorie deficit.
Yes.
So explain to everybody there, what is a calorie deficit?
Energy in versus energy out. So your body burns a certain amount of energy in a day. You need to find out what that amount is. So my total for the day, my metabolism, my body just to function burns 1,600 to 1,800 calories. That's before I've exercised or anything like that, just to live. So I know that's my budget. If I'm eating food with energy sources that amount to double that, I'm going to put on weight. If I eat the amount of food with the same amount of energy, I will maintain.
So if let's say, for example, your calorie budget, as you say, is 1,600 calories. If I eat less, will I just lose weight, or do I need to do exercise as well?
You will lose weight just from eating less, but it's how you lose the weight. So obviously exercise, weight training specifically is going to change the way your body looks. If you just eat in a calorie deficit, you will lose weight.
Of course, yeah.
But it's hard to stay in that deficit and stay motivated to achieve that goal of a deficit, I find, without exercise, because exercise almost sets your mind into the right tone, keeps you motivated. It almost the endorphins you get from it and the results you get from it encourage you to continue to eat healthy. It kind of, they all go together, but at the same time, if you're not eating right and you're exercising, you're not going to achieve anything. The main thing is definitely nutrition.
Then you've obviously gone through this phenomenal change now. What have the people around East London, give us a little bit of a background, the East London feedback that's happened to Debi over the last 12 months?
It's amazing. I mean, I went to a function a little while ago, I think 2 weeks ago, and I hadn't seen a few of the girls who were from out of town for a few years, and they were asking people to introduce me. They didn't know who I was. You know, that's just an example. I get calls, phone calls, WhatsApps, messages every day. Please, can you help? Please, can you help? Please, can you know? I'm not a dietitian, you know, nutritionist. I'm not any of those things. And what's worked for me might not work for you, but I do get it. You know,
people
after having done, and the way that I eat, and what I put into my shake, which is the best part of my day, besides Sarah, can work for everybody. It really can work for everybody. And you know, I've changed over the year from last year, how I started in the beginning. In actual fact, when I started my journey in February, I did intermittent fasting.
Okay,
So I only used to start eating at 12 o'clock.
So
Yeah.
you'd have a meal at 6 o'clock in the evening,
Yeah.
and then the next meal you would have is at 12 o'clock the next day.
Yeah.
So that's intermittent fasting.
Yeah. So I started that journey. I think it was 16:8.
Yes, yeah.
I think that was. And then I used to increase it. So that's how I started my journey.
Mm-hmm.
And it did work for me. It did work. But then I started training with Sarah.
Yeah.
And it didn't work.
So I'm assuming that if you do intermittent fasting and you train heavy, you're going to wreck your body.
Yeah, a lot of people do train in the morning fasted, but they're not fasting until 12. They're maybe it's okay to train fasted in the morning and eat after. A lot of people feel very energetic that way and then eat straight after. But she was obviously burning, her deficit was probably way too big. If she was in a deficit and in an intermittent fasting window and training, she probably just hit a crash, which would happen. It's because it's unsustainable. So she realized she needed to find a better sustainable way.
Yeah, so that's the key, because so many people start a diet and you notice a change and then they put on the weight again and you go through this cycle of just yo-yo
zigzag,
through the years. So anyway, coming back to how has East London treated you? Obviously, some people who haven't seen you for a year, they would walk past you and they wouldn't even recognize you.
Yeah, I think people who haven't seen me for a long time, I mean, like I said, the messages and the support generally from everybody has been amazing. I get, lots of attention. There's lots of attention going on. Obviously, I've lost so much weight and I'm a new person now. I'm a different person, you know. I may not even realize it, but then listening to Sarah earlier on and you about personality change, when I think about it, yes, obviously, you know. But generally, people are pretty shocked. They're shocked. They are, and everybody just says it's just so empowering and so inspiring, and we just need it. Please help me. And
they think that you're holding on to a secret.
Yes.
They want to know the secret. They think that it's a quick and easy fix, but they also don't realize how hard she has worked and how strong her mind has been.
So it's not really a secret. It's you calorie deficit and gym hard.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think doing it and starting the journey and eating the way I have and researching and learning about food and what I need, I wouldn't have got to where I am without Sarah as well. I mean, my body's changed so much since you met me.
The weight training, the results we've gotten from that, you can say are through me or from me, but you're the one gymming. But definitely the nutrition I was there as an advisory. Yes, I didn't write the program. I didn't, but I did give her my input. I told her the foods. I explained calorie deficits.
This is not one of those stories where somebody who's overweight goes to a trainer and says, "Train me, give me a program."
I'm not a trainer that likes to write out a meal plan for my clients. I prefer to teach them about nutrition and for them to create a plan that suits them. They must know that they need to create a calorie deficit. They must find healthy foods that suit their lifestyle.
And then you've gone through this change and it's phenomenal. I mean, you'll see in the pictures that come up that where you were and where you are. Personality change? Do you think there's been a change in your personality as well? Have you become maybe more confident? Have you become maybe a little bit more reserved because you're getting all of this attention?
I'm a lot. I've always had confidence. I've always been a bit of a confident person. I have got a lot more confidence now, obviously. You know, I can walk, I can do anything and I feel great and I feel proud of what I've done. It's nice to be acknowledged. And we feed off energy and we know how people respond to you. So yes. Have I got a bit more reserved? I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so. Maybe in certain aspects I've got a bit more reserved because I have this confidence and I've done so much that sometimes I'm shy. Sometimes I'll go somewhere and I'm thinking, I look at myself in the mirror before I go out and I go, that's not bad.
Yeah.
You know? And then no, it's I have my personality. I think my personality.
Yeah.
You've
And
always
still
been a
the same.
confident and outspoken
Yes.
person
Yeah.
to the people you were comfortable with.
Yes.
Now it's more so like you don't care who those.
Yeah.
It's not only but you've always been loud
Yeah.
and outspoken.
You've got a young daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. How does she feel about this?
No, we were actually chatting this morning, and I
Yeah.
said one of the questions, and I gave her the question, and she just said, Mum, I couldn't be prouder, and I'm so inspired. I'm inspired. She said she's inspired. She said, you're just so inspiring. I just don't have any words. Yeah.
It's almost a question now, if you go out with your daughter, people are maybe
Yeah.
think, is this sisters now? You know?
I've had that. Yeah, I've had that.
Yeah. And you obviously had to go for a whole new wardrobe now as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think. What was I? Size. I think some of the dresses I was buying back then, I think were a size 24. I think 22.
Size
Yeah.
22,
Size 22,
24,
and this is a size 6.
and a size 6. this is not,
Not saying that everything's a size 6,
Yeah.
but generally, yeah, I can, if I go and buy a black pair of pants, which I love, black's my staple color, still
Yeah,
my staple,
yeah.
still. I mean, even then, when I was so overweight and just.
I think
this
that's
oompa-
why your
this
black is
oompa-
your staple color still now.
Yeah, I was just Oompa Loompa. So for me, it was wearing black was just safe because you just look slimmer in black.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think it's like I've battled to get out of that. Like black is still my
Yes.
favorite color. It still is my favorite color. It will always be my favorite color. And I was wearing black today, and then I decided, you know what, let's push the buttons a bit. So. Yeah, so I asked Sarah this morning, what do you think, black or blue? Ask Karen, black or blue?
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
Yeah.
So things like prints, for instance, like a floral top,
Yeah.
um,
Floral pants
floral
even.
pants, not a chance.
No, no.
Not a chance. And I just think that's just a personal thing. Maybe,
Yeah, okay.
that's not because now that mindset is still there. And when I was so big, I would never have worn any prints. It's just not something that I can do. So it'll always be a block. I'll always wear a block color. You know what I'm saying? If it's black pants, it'll be a black shirt type of thing.
Yes, yeah.
That's from when I was so. But that's me. That's just.
Okay. So
yeah.
recently there's been a situation in the United States where half the population there is obese. So they are expecting special treatment. For example, an overweight person, an obese person would expect a free extra seat on an airline. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, so take a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to fly to Cape Town or Joburg, and I'm going to say to SAF Air, 120 kilograms, I need an extra seat. No, I think that's, I don't believe in that. Unless it's a medical condition.
Okay.
Unless it's a medical condition, you can't, in America it's just so easy. They are an obese nation.
Yeah.
I think South Africans, we generally now are becoming so health conscious, Americans are different, and it's so easy for them just to have a takeout or takeaway at every corner they walk around, and that's how they live. So for it to be a disability that you're overweight because you like pies and chips, no.
Yeah. Tell us
No.
about the pies. We had a discussion about the pies off air.
Yeah. I think back in when I was so overweight, and the way I think about it now, like I can't believe I used to do that.
Really?
I felt nothing, and I'm not embarrassed to say it. I would have lunch, breakfast, and supper,
Yes.
and I would have everything in between, and then I would have dinner. Then I would think, you know what? It's 8:30. Mr. Delivery. I feel like a Steers burger and chips, and I used to do it. I did it.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy. It's crazy.
I wouldn't
Easy.
even want to know how much money you spent over the years on food. I mean, if you've done that rough calculation,
No,
you'd
it's
be
crazy.
shocked.
It's absolutely crazy, and I felt nothing. For me, the biggest part of my day, I used to love it. Meet a friend at a coffee shop, or go here or go there. This is in between working and stuff and doing everything, but meeting somebody and then having, not just meeting for coffee, having
Something
burger.
to eat.
Yeah.
something really nice to eat. You know what I'm saying? It astounds me
Yeah.
that I was like that. you
But
know? Yeah.
speaking about going out and having coffee and
Yeah.
burger and stuff, once in a while it's okay to be human.
Yeah,
you know
on
what-
Sun-
Yeah.
I went to Morgan Bay. I spent a lot of time at Morgan Bay, and I was there over the weekend. And on Sunday, I had a Hawaiian pizza.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I had a Hawaiian pizza.
80-20 is
Pardon?
the 80-20.
Yeah. So I
What's
had
the
a
80-20?
80%, if you can keep 80%, for Debbie it's probably 98 too.
Yeah.
But the general population, 80%. If you can keep 80% sticking to your goals,
yeah.
staying on the
nice.
right
Yeah.
path, the 20% is not going to set you back.
No.
I like that idea. You know, we're living in a world sometimes where everybody's saying aggressive. You must always give your best. You must always give 100%. But there's a school of thought out there that says when you are giving 100%, sometimes you're not relaxed. You
Yes.
see these athletes when they just get into the zone, they almost look like water. They're so relaxed. They're so,
Yes.
you know, that's an interesting idea is instead of giving 100%, try and hit 80%. And, you know, that would be fine. That would be
Yes,
fine.
it's also
Although
it's
Debbie
more
is
attainable.
Yeah. Although Debbie is probably the exception, she's probably like 99.1.
Yes.
You know?
Okay.
But she does. She
do-
goes out on the weekend, and in the past,
Yeah.
she would maybe have a day where she fell off the wagon,
Yeah.
and she would come to me, and I would say, "It's okay. You've put in the work 90% of the time. This like 1% or this 10%
Yeah,
is not going to stop you from achieving your goals. It's okay to have that night out or have that drink. Not all the time. You can't just now say it's okay, because that's also can be very bad. But to not go into a spiral just because you've had that one bad, and to rather not associate it as a bad thing.
Yeah.
You also need to live life.
Yeah, so it's almost a case of one healthy meal is not going to make you healthy.
Yes.
As one bad meal is not going to make you unhealthy.
No.
Yes.
No. No.
And then, sporting wise now, what are you doing? You've lost all of this weight. I mean, are you taking up new sports? Is there new things on the horizon? Is there volleyball? Is there climbing mountains with me? Is there...
I'd like to start paddle. Hey?
Yes.
I'd like to
There's a
start
ladies'
that.
paddle group in
Yes,
East
I'd
London.
like to start that. Gymming, I will. It's like, oh.
It's a lifestyle now.
Yeah, and I was actually saying, I think I was telling Sarah yesterday, and unless it wasn't Sarah, unless I was speaking to Karen, I can't remember. But my mind is so consumed with so much every day, you know, so much. But it's the one time, it's the strangest thing. I've like hit that stage of gymming where I get to Sarah and everything, that's all I think about is where I am in that moment. I don't think of anything else. It's absolutely insane. I absolutely love it. I mean, I was there this morning early, and then I said to her, could we sneak another one this afternoon?
Isn't this a point where it could become a little bit more obsessive? No?
No, I'm not.
My sessions are only 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So if I find Debbie wanting more than one session a day, I will also just structure it in that I'm not killing her in both of those sessions. So let's say she's training every day, not all of those days are going to be intense. You also get active recovery sessions. You also get, I will throw in a few stretches, throw in a few activations, slower things. We'll have our hit days, we'll have our building days. But as long as, if that's making her happy, coming to the gym and keeping her sane, I will just adapt the programming accordingly.
Okay, great, because you know, I get up at 2:30 every morning. I have breakfast at 3.
Opposite two.
2:30. I'm in the gym from 4 to 6, and I tell you, the gym is like my temple. It's like Hindus call it a mandir. It's where we pray. So it's like my mandir. It's a synagogue. It's my cathedral. It's where I feel at home. And there's a great connection between you and the other gymmers to the point where you might not even know their name, but you sort of nod.
Yes.
They nod, and everybody. We're all this family of people who are trying to get fit.
It's also an escape from reality. When you're at the gym, you know one's wife, you know one's mother, you know one's child, you know you are just you. It's just like a part of your day where it's all about you. So anything you don't need to worry about if you've got some sort of stress going on in life, that can wait. For that hour, that's your hour to just focus on yourself, not worry. There's nothing can happen in that hour. Nothing's going to change. It's just almost like a outlet.
It's a bubble. It's
Yes,
a secure bubble
it's
where you can
yes.
get on with it, and you start the day on a great note.
Yes.
If you have a great session, or even if you have a bad session, you still did something of value. So if the rest of the day goes terrible, you can still look back and say it started on a good note.
Yes.
Okay. Now, humans, we love sometimes pulling each other down. Has there been any of that happening here in your life? people have seen the change, they don't believe it, they think it's surgery or lost friends or made new friends. Has there been any sort of negative vibe here?
No, not really.
Not really.
No, not really.
I think most people see the change and
Yeah.
they want to be
Not
the
really.
change. They want to
Yes.
see the change.
I've had clients ask me questions and I put them in their place straight away because I've been there every single day. I would know if Debbie had a surgery because she would have had to disappear. I wouldn't have seen her. So I do, there are clients and I reassure them, you don't understand how hard she works. You don't, you need to.
Because the story is almost too good to be true.
Yes,
You know,
or they'll wonder why they aren't
Yeah.
getting the same results and they aren't putting in the same amount of work.
Yeah, I have had, I mean, there have been numerous people who've said to me, we've heard about a gastric bypass, or we've heard this, or we've heard that. It's just crazy. It's, it's not for me. I mean, it's something I could never even consider. As I said to you, Domesh, it was all about health.
Yes.
It was becoming the healthiest version and the best version of me. So, no, I would never.
And then, what do your doctors think about this? Do they think it's some sort of miracle? Do they not believe what's happening here? Are they, when you saw a doctor for the first time?
My GP is my PA is Karen's husband, Dr. Torreson, and he's amazing. I mean, he's an incredible man, and he's only been supportive and go Debs, so proud of you, and right. He's been so and he always tells me, you're so inspiring. It's just so lovely to see, and
It's just, when you look at the pictures, you showed me the pictures off air of what you looked like and what you weighed compared to now. Not to sound morbid or make it a morbid discussion, but literally you are half the person. So instead of needing 15, you would need 6 people one day to carry your coffin. I mean, if you are literally half the person.
Less than half.
Less than half.
Don't forget the lace.
Don't forget the 6 days less.
Okay, so you're 57 now. What's the end goal? I mean, you can't disappear.
No, she's not.
No, I'm happy where I am. My work now is just with Sarah. There's certain things I want to achieve with her this year. So I'm happy. I'm very happy in terms of weight and my body.
Our goal now is to maintain the loss and also build some muscle. We've built quite a bit of muscle already.
Look at that.
She's got a little bicep, she's got a shoulder going. So now our goal is to make sure we're getting in the right foods to continue to build. We're not going to become massive bodybuilders. We're just building a little bit of...
And it's 6-pack this year.
Yeah, Debbie wants a 6-pack.
So we're going to interview you in a year's time. We're going to do the 6-pack show.
Building some muscle.
Yeah, building muscle. And my body's healthy. It's, it's so nice to get out of the shower and look at yourself in the mirror and go, well done.
There are hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people who would watch this and they wouldn't believe what they've seen. And they're wanting to know, how can they do what you did? I mean, what is the next step? Are you going to write a book? Are you going to do your own podcast? Are you going to... I mean, what are you thinking big, long term now? Because obviously your confidence level has gone through
My
the
confidence level, yes, have gone through the roof in terms of what I've done. And I would. I mean, I've been speaking to Karen as well. And I think I mentioned to Sarah, I'm seriously considering doing something. I'm not sure yet, but I'm very passionate about what I've done. And I know how inspiring I am because, I mean, I get told on a daily basis. So yes, I would like to. I mean, I've had women reach out and say, please, please, we want a talk somewhere. Karen's going to try and put that together. Hundreds of people have reached out and said, we need something. You need to, I think for me making that decision, that little switch just turned on and it was, that's it now. You need to do this. And it's,
What was that catalyst? Did something happen? Did you look at yourself in the mirror after the shower? Did you maybe try and play a sport with the children?
No, it was just you saw the photographs.
Yeah.
I mean, for goodness sake, it's very embarrassing, it's embarrassing for me. I'm not speaking negatively about any other weight person out there. I've been there. I've lived it, and it's awful. For some people to say, well, I enjoy being fat. I like being fat.
There's a whole movement out there that says we shouldn't body shame, obviously, but I mean, it's almost come to the point now where we're promoting fatness. It's like,
Yes.
be yourself, live your best life, eat as what, it's gluttony,
Yes.
it's hedonism, everything's about us.
And
us,
it's
us.
not healthy.
It's
You're
not
not going to live
healthy.
a long, healthy
Yeah.
life. If you want longevity, obesity is not going to get you there.
Absolutely.
No.
Yeah.
And for people to say, well, I'm happy being fat. I was there. I can't understand that. And each to their own.
Yeah, okay,
Each to their own. We all individuals. We all have our own things. But for me, I'm happy being fat. Goodness. It's the most horrific thing in the world. It was horrible. Absolutely horrible being fat. To
You
go
weren't
anywhere
happy.
and my social anxiety, was
Okay.
horrible. No. I don't understand that statement,
We're assuming it's coming from the fact that perhaps they've changed or they're too lazy to change, so they're just leaving the status quo. If I
Yeah.
can't change, I'm going to just accept it and I'm
Yes.
going to embrace it.
I was there when I started my journey. And I used to say to Karen in the mornings, well, this is never going to shift. This is before I asked Sarah to meet her. This is never going to happen. And it was, then the first kg came off. Oh, that's impossible. I've got to lose so much. It's
Yeah.
1K. Then that K, became 5Ks. Then it became 10Ks. And then I made that call. Then I met Sarah.
Okay.
I phoned Sarah's wife, Simone, who's just also, you have to meet her. She's just incredible. And I phoned her and I said, please set up a meeting with Sarah and myself. And I met the both of them. And I think when she saw me and the size of me, she must have thought, when I said, I'll be your biggest loser, okay, let's see.
Yeah.
I know, I never thought that.
No, she would never think that. But yeah, and then it's just been an amazing journey. And to honestly say, I am beyond proud.
No, and you
What
should
I've
be. You
achieved.
should be,
Yeah, you
know.
should be.
I really am. And yeah, it's,
I firmly believe that you need a mentor in
Yeah.
different parts of your life, whether
Yeah.
it's a priest or a
Yeah.
business consultant or a trainer
Yeah.
or a nutritionist, because we're not
Yes.
experts at everything like this. So
No.
reach out, and it might not, maybe the advice somebody gives you is not what you're looking for, it doesn't gel. You can always trim and look and
Yeah.
figure
Find
it
someone
out,
who
but-
suits you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Something that suits you.
in terms of nutrition, Sarah's always made it very clear about my protein.
Yeah, you mentioned
How
protein
much-
a lot.
how
Protein
much-
is important.
It is very
most important.
So
important.
you've got
Yeah.
protein, you've
Yeah.
got
Carbs also important.
and you've got fats.
Yes.
Yeah. So protein is your chicken, your fish, your meat,
Yes. Whey. You can also get
whey
it from
protein. Then
there.
you've got your carbs, which is your bread and
Good carbs though.
Good carbs.
Good carbs, sweet potato.
Sweet
Sweet
potato,
potato,
rice, oats, those kind of
then
perfect. Like,
you
yeah.
get your fat.
Yes.
Okay.
Good. You get good fats though.
Yeah, yeah.
So incorporating those is
Yeah.
also important.
The problem out there is, if you look on the internet, there's 6 different opinions and they're all contradicting each other. Some people say don't have fat. Some people say have fat. Some have protein. Some say don't have breakfast. How do you unpack all of this?
I think having all of them is good for everyone.
Yeah.
It's for weight loss, you just want to create a calorie deficit.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the ratio of those 3 things doesn't actually matter.
Really?
If you want to purely just lose weight, the amount of fats, protein, and carbs in comparison to each other, if your diet was 80% fat and 10% carbs and protein, but you were in a calorie deficit, you're still going to
Okay,
lose weight.
Fair point. I think people are so used to seeing this Atkins or this keto and
Yes.
measuring everything.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
forget it's an overall picture that we're looking
Yes,
at here.
but then you also want to be healthy on the inside. So you don't just want to lose weight by creating you can lose weight eating McDonald's every day because you're in a calorie deficit.
Yeah,
But then
true,
what
true.
does your gut health look like? What do your
Exactly.
insides look like? So that's the decision you
Yeah.
need to make. Do I just want to lose weight or do I actually, you can be skinny and be unhealthy.
Yeah,
Or
that's
you can be
that's an
skinny
interesting
fat.
thought. You could be skinny. You could be skinny, but inside you could be
Sound
clogged,
healthy.
and
Yes.
it could be a problem.
Yes.
So it's not a question of me having a massive pizza and a hamburger and having a Diet Coke. It
Yes.
doesn't cancel each other out.
Yes.
Yeah. Those
Yeah.
are all conscious decisions I've made as well in terms of when you said Diet Coke. Anything aerated or gassy, I don't do anything like that.
Okay, so no cool drinks, no
No.
juices,
No,
nothing.
nothing like that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go and grab a Diet Coke or a Diet Sprite. Every now and again, maybe I will.
Yeah.
But no, definitely, I won't do anything like that. Nothing gassy
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. In terms of fats, I believe in olive oil. I eat lots of olives.
You have your nut
love
butters
olives.
sometimes.
I have
peanut butter.
I have peanut butter and peanut butter powder in my shake every single day. Avocados, I love.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to rush off and go and buy 6 rolls. I'm not a bread person anymore. I lived on bread. Bread made me fat. Bread, butter, and cheese. That was it. Absolutely.
So
Those are saturated fats.
Yeah,
so somebody's watching this and you know they
could have
just
had-
want
Those
to
are
start.
good
They just want to
fats.
start.
You want to start?
You just want to start. So cut out, reduce the carbs.
Don't cut out.
Okay,
is
don't
also
cut out. Don't cut out. Just reduce the carbs, the
Yeah.
pastas, the breads, the potatoes, the rice. Just reduce a little bit.
I eat potatoes, normal potatoes and sweet potatoes.
I don't think reduce the carbs. Reduce your calories in general.
Yes.
Reduce
Okay.
everything in general.
So I'm actually of the opinion if somebody's tried and started and fallen back and tried, speak to somebody who knows what's going on. Get an assessment done. You know, because not everybody has the drive that you have to go.
I lost a lot of weight in 2018. A lot of weight in 2018. And for various reasons, I put it back on in January 2019. I did. I really did. And I lost a lot of weight. And from 2019 to 2023, I put all that weight back on and more.
Yeah, that's normally the case.
But,
You see,
but that was, I did it the wrong way. It was completely the wrong way.
when you say wrong way, explain to us what's the wrong way so somebody out there can maybe avoid that train track.
I ate so little.
Okay.
I ate so little. I wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't done the healthy way.
So you
And the
can't starve
sustainable
yourself.
way.
The
It wasn't
sustainable way.
sustainable.
This is not at all. Yeah, I wasn't healthy.
Yeah.
And yes, I was gymming, and I was going to a trainer at that stage. But every single day going to gym was just like, it was hell.
It's
it was
actually
pure hell. I needed her. It was absolute hell. I didn't enjoy. Not that I didn't enjoy it. I loved going, and I loved the results that I was getting, but I just
You
didn't
shouldn't
enjoy it.
dread
I
going
wasn't-
to
yeah.
training. It should be
Yeah.
something you look forward to.
Yeah.
It seems like you'd be getting the worst of everything because you're starving yourself.
I just wasn't
And
doing
you
it the right
went-
way.
You went to the
I
gym.
wasn't
and
doing it the right way, yeah. And then things happened in my life, and I put on the weight, and that's when I realized, no, you know, this yo-yoing that
Yeah,
I did,
yeah.
and then I hit. But
Hit rock
what
bottom.
what I did for that year up until now, I am so healthy. My body is insanely healthy, and
Did you
body
do,
and mind.
Yeah, did you do like any sort of medical work before you started on this journey? Can a doctor see a
We
year
did.
ago and see year now?
We did it I made her do an in-body assessment.
What's an in-body assessment?
So that tells me how much fat she has, how much muscle she has, so lean muscle mass. It's a very expensive scale that you stand on.
Okay.
It measures your how much muscle is on this leg compared to this leg, all of that. So it tells you your lean muscle mass, it tells you your fat mass, it tells you your water, how much water your body. So it kind of separates everything so we can see when she's losing weight. Because a lot of people also lose weight, let's say they lose 10 kgs, but they'll actually lost 5 kgs of muscle. That's not what you want.
Yeah.
You want to lose fat. You don't want to lose muscle. You want to maintain muscle and then build it
But just
after.
be clear, we need a bit of fat. In your,
Yes, you
need
do.
fat. You can't be 0%
To be healthy,
fat.
yes.
You'd probably
You would be
die.
unhealthy
Yeah,
if you had no fat.
Yeah.
So
So you get this yo-yoing, and then eventually
Yes.
something triggered in you, like an ESCOM trip where
I
we
think
lose
the
all
first
of
time
our
in my
power.
life, for the first time in my life, honestly, in terms of, and I think even when I was never overweight, I've never been like this. You know what I mean? In terms of what I give my body, in terms of my supplements, Sarah made me go for an in-body, and I do that once every 6 months. Like he's freaked now when they see my new one. Yeah. So and I've always, my last one I had, he was astounded because of my muscle
Yes.
mass and everything
Especially
else.
now when she's
Yeah.
in her maintenance weight, there's no point in looking at a scale anymore because
Okay,
we're not losing weight anymore. Now we
No.
just want to build muscle, and muscle does weigh more than fat.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if the scale does go up, we don't need to freak out at first. We can assess and see, okay, maybe we've actually built a little bit of
Yeah.
lean muscle. It does weigh more as long as the fat percentage is still where it needs to be.
No, it's amazing. What do ex-boyfriends say to you now?
Ex-boyfriends.
Yeah. Guys that knew
Oh
when
no,
you at school.
I did have an ex-boyfriend. Karen's laughing. Message and say that he'd seen photographs of me somewhere and I'm looking so amazing and stuff. Yeah. No, I'm getting it. Yeah.
So are you getting tired now of the compliments? Or
I don't think anyone gets tired of compliments. Yeah, I don't think anyone gets tired of compliments. It does make me feel great when everyone. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Everybody likes to be
Yes.
complimented.
Yeah. I put something about my journey on Facebook. I think 2 weeks ago or something. I don't know. And it was insane.
Yeah.
It was absolutely insane.
You're saying the
All
feedback from East
feedback
London
has been incredible.
Yeah.
And, to get comments like that, I mean, it was unbelievable. And then from that post, the phone started going and the messages, and please help us.
So people actually reaching out to your PA or to yourself and say, please, I need help.
Yeah.
I need to get out of this. I need to get out of this death spiral that I'm in.
But honestly, when I look at where I was when I started with Sarah, oh my goodness, it's the unhealthiest position for any human being to be in. It's terrible, absolutely terrible.
So we can probably confidently say that you are fitter, younger, stronger, more focused than you've ever been in your entire life. This is like the apex of your existence on this planet right now, and you're probably even going to go a little bit higher.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's unbelievable. So
and even when I started this whole journey, when I think about how I started and the fasting and this and that, my energy levels used to dip. Everything used to dip. Now
it's consistent.
Completely, it's consistent.
So the words that we're hearing here is sustainable and consistent.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to live a life where you're going up and down.
Yeah.
Your body's going up and down, your mind is going up and down, your spirituality, your energy, everything is just a complete mess then, isn't it? And you're gonna carry on with this journey for a little, obviously forever now. It seems
Forever.
Forever.
I won't let her leave.
No, forever. And,
I'll keep her accountable.
Something until I probably can't walk one day. Is something that I will never give up. I will never ever. I mean, you need to come to my home and see how I prepare my shake. Everything stays on my counter, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There must be about.
A lot.
I don't know, it must be 15
But it makes her happy and it makes her feel good about herself.
All the good things.
And it's good for her body.
Matcha and everything goes in there. Everything goes in. My banana, my blueberries, my strawberries, my everything. It's a big thing. After Sarah, getting back, and then Karen and I sit and we both have our shake together in the morning. Honestly, the best part of my day is from when I wake up. But I mean, before I go to gym, it's just a big laugh for a lot of people, but it works for me. And as I said to you, I never stop learning. I never stop researching. I start off with a little banana and cinnamon concoction that I do every day.
Yeah.
It's the funniest thing. But my goodness, and I listened to this woman, Dr. Anna Scott, from America actually. She's quite an amazing woman, and she was talking about what this little morning ritual does. In terms of your stomach, and all I ever wanted was this flat stomach. And you take 500 ml of water, you boil it, and you put a heaped teaspoon of cinnamon in, and you smash a banana. And then once the water's boiled, you add the banana in, and you let that boil for 10 minutes. Then you roll it up, then you strain it. You strain that, and then you drink that. I do that every morning before going to. It's
really okay.
Yeah, I do it. There will be some mornings that I don't do it, like when I was away in Morgan Bay. But over December, being away for 2.5 weeks in Morgan Bay over Christmas and New Year, there wasn't one day, not one. My family were actually astounded. There wasn't one day that whole shake wasn't prepared. Not Christmas morning, not New Year's morning, not. Yeah. Ever.
Well, obviously we can see you're committed.
It goes with her, like for someone else, maybe a mom with a million kids and it's not going to work.
It's not going to work.
But it works for her, and it sets her day off for the right tone. So everyone needs to find something that starts their morning right.
It has to fit your lifestyle, because you see these Hollywood actresses and actors, and they're looking amazing. But the thing is, they've got somebody paid to prepare their food, a proper diet, a proper this, and they're working, because in 6 months they're going to be on that role. But for us, you've got a business, you've got kids, you've got a family, you've got to fit it all in there. So it's difficult. It's difficult.
I prepare my shake.
you also have a business and many things, but
things,
you
yeah.
prioritize yourself.
Yeah. And my shakes are prepared at 6:30 at night. 6:30 at night, I do my shake. Oh, and another thing I do, which is... okay. Yeah.
No, carry on.
Another thing that I do every morning is the banana. So I peel my banana, and then that banana, the inside of the banana skin, I smear it on my face.
Really, eh?
But that's not to be skinny. That's for her skin.
That's my complexion. Yeah. So it's there's so many things that I do. Like for 6 months of last year, and Karen knows, every single morning it was a tablespoon of olive oil every morning. I will still do that. A tablespoon of freshly squeezed lemon juice, and a half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper every morning. It is so unbelievably good for your body. And I sort of stopped doing that, but I will still do that every now and again, you know. But there's certain things that we just need, our bodies need to function
So it's
at the best.
Consistency, motivation, determination, a plan that's tailored for what it is you want to do, how
it's
you
for
want
me,
to,
you know, it's for me.
Debbie's always finding new, different health things that, like she didn't have a teaspoon of olive oil from, these are like new things that she enjoys researching different things
like that kind of
and trying different things to make her body the best it can be inside.
It comes to that point where people want a pull. They want somebody to do the work for them. Give me a pull, give me a diet, give me a routine, and I'll follow it. And inevitably, they don't follow it. And when it doesn't work out, they blame you.
Yes.
You know?
There's a new one I've just found now, Triphala powder. Triphala, T-R-I-P-H-A-L-A. It's all roots and berries and all sorts of stuff, but it's insane. It's absolutely insane. It's also a superfood for your gut.
Yeah.
And I just believe that's where it all starts. If your gut isn't healthy, if you've got an unhealthy gut, and it's so easy to have an unhealthy gut. If you've got a problem, you know what I mean. You just can't be healthy. You know, I need everything to work properly. And
absolutely.
Everything to work properly. So
No. I think this is an interesting conversation. I'm sure a lot of people are motivated, they're excited, they're probably shocked, you know, from what we've heard and the pictures we've seen and the feedback we've got. But now I want to chat to Karen and find out, because she's with you 24/7, mostly 24/7, and she's been through this journey. So we're going to chat to her.
She has.
We're going to chat.
But in terms of this little lady here, honestly. Yes, I've got so healthy and I've done it, and I know that it's me, because what goes in my mouth. But she's been incredible.
She's been the one pushing in the background.
She's been incredible. She's pushed me. She's motivated me. You know, doesn't matter how I get to gym in the morning, if I'm not feeling good or if I'm fit. She's always the same. She's just the same.
I suppose that's
amazing
you
human
just need
being.
to get there.
Yeah.
Amazing human being, and that sets my tone for the whole day. You know?
Consistency is key here.
Yeah.
All right, so Debbie, you have gone through this phenomenal change. I mean, when I look at the pictures, the before and the after, I think it's some industrial light and magic, you know, like the special effects they do in the movies. But you had Sarah, who was with you. You had your friends and family, but you had Karen, who was like pretty much with you all of the time. Karen, this is not the same person you knew a year ago, you know?
Not at all. I don't even recognize that person in the before picture.
When you show your ID or your passport, or when you fly, do they look at you and they say, this isn't you, ma'am, where's your real ID?
Luckily, I lost my ID. I'm waiting for my new one. So,
yeah, it's going to be one of those
But
wonderful...
in terms of my passport,
it's not you.
No, I'm not sure what that is.
You know, you're gonna have that wonderful ID experience which all South Africans have. You're gonna wait 3 hours in the Home Affairs department, and when you get to the front of the queue, you know what they're gonna say? System offline. So, how long have you known Debbie for?
I've known her for about 3 years now.
Okay.
Yes,
so when she started this process and this journey,
I've been there from the very start. The befores, the slumps, then coming back up, and then when she walked through and she said, "Today's the day," I was like, let's do this. I got you.
There's an interesting combination here because your husband is your doctor.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you went to go see him and you said, listen, this is what I want to do, what did he say? Did he say, go for it? He said, hold on,
No. Very supportive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go for it. I mean, at that stage, I don't think anyone actually believed me.
Yeah.
Because I was, really.
I mean, nobody would really believe it, because if somebody were to come to me and says, I weigh 120 kgs, in a year's time I will weigh 57, as you say, 57, you'd say, come on, you sound like a politician. You make all these promises and nothing happens.
Yeah, he was very supportive in the fact that he wanted her to be the best, healthiest person she could be. Help with all the aches and the pains and just get it all under control, because the healthier you are, the fitter you are, the better you are,
Oh, and that, talking about that, when I was the Oompa Loompa, my inflammation mark was 44.1.
What was that?
My inflammation mark.
What is inflammation mark?
It's your amount of inflammation in your body.
Okay.
Because I have blood tests every 6 months. I'm quite anal about that. I like to know that everything is functioning properly. And it's now like a normal person.
Yeah.
My inflammation mark was so high.
So obviously, I mean, I can't believe we have to say this in this day and age, but being healthy far outweighs being unhealthy and obese and overweight. But there's almost a sick movement in the world where I am who I am, and not only will I accept it, but I'll embrace it, and I'll have another cheeseburger.
People become complacent.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
It's okay to not bother. If it's okay with this person, it's okay with me.
Yeah. We live in a world of hedonism now. It's me. Everything's gluttony. Everything's that. And then how has the business changed? I mean, are you finding like you have to spend more time taking calls from clients who now don't want to buy a house, but now all of a sudden
want all the healthy tips?
Yeah.
No shame. It's quite. Debbie's very good with the fact she always puts her business first. She's always very supportive. It's now to the point of she's so much more energized, so much more focused, so much more driven. So, I do have to fight off a couple of crazy fans, but everything's good. It's just
all the time.
Yeah. Instead of people now asking me for my husband's phone number, I now have them asking for her phone number. Like, how did she do it?
Yeah.
It's quite it's very inspirational. It's also it's always good to say, well, when people say I can't, you can say, well, she did.
Yeah,
can't is not in the dictionary. So, I've watched the blood, the sweat, the tears, the hard days, the good days, I really want that. No, don't buy that. Don't do that. And and I get a shake, one of those incredible shakes every morning. So it's great.
You're talking about those shakes pretty much.
It's divine.
You think it's good?
Yeah.
You should patent it. Sell it.
Bottle it. Yeah.
Bottle it.
I just miss them on a Saturday and a Sunday. Because I don't work on a Saturday and a Sunday, so I don't get my shake.
And then you're almost seeing this from an outside point of view now, because you have Debi and you have Sarah who are in this mix. You have been like having this helicopter view. How have you noticed a change of how they treat her?
Yeah, people have to recognize her first, do a bit of a double take, and you just you have the people that are very supportive. You get the people that are like, I can't believe it. It's just, she's got a lot of supporting people, and as long as we all continue, it's great. So the people that want to hate will hate. The people that don't.
That's the unfortunate thing. We're living in a world where some people don't like to see other people succeed.
Exactly.
But I mean, obviously that hasn't bothered you at all. I mean, you've just been not only carrying on, but you've almost accelerated and hitting those goals and hitting those targets. And
I think getting back to personality change, I used to be someone who, always worried about what someone said or what someone had to say or what their opinion was. And I think going through a lot of life changes in the last year of my life, there have been a lot of them. I don't care. I don't care. No, really. I don't care if you have X, Y, Z to say. Or this is about my journey. It's about my life. It's about what works for me. So if you have something that's negative or you don't agree with what I'm doing or you've become obsessive, or you this or you that. I honestly,
Yeah, it's
I'm me.
Yeah.
This is me, and you know, we can all voice opinions, and we can all, but I don't. I really, and maybe that sounds facetious
No,
or
it's not.
mean, but I honestly, I don't care.
Yeah.
This is me, and I've done this journey. I'm living this life. I'm happy in so many spheres of my life, and this is who I am. So either, you know,
take it or leave it.
take
Yeah.
it or leave it.
Because that's a form of what I practice is Stoicism.
Yeah.
And one of the
Yes.
things there is
Yeah.
control what you can, what you cannot control, you leave,
You leave.
and you walk away. Never
Yeah.
be afraid to walk away from a bad relationship,
Yes.
bad
Yeah.
situation, bad business deal.
Absolutely.
The power of detachment is
Absolutely.
is powerful, eh?
Power of detachment.
Yeah.
That's it.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Yes.
Diet-wise, are you also eating the same diets now, or
Try.
you try?
You try, you know. It's just, yeah, life is busy. It's just, I've got to find the mindset to actually, this is what I need to do. This is how I'm going to do
But
it.
you're good in the morning. She has
I've
her
done
shake,
it, yeah.
and then yeah.
It's just getting the exercise.
So you
I
have
used to
lights.
train with Sarah,
Okay.
and then life just got really busy with an 8-year-old son.
Yeah, obviously, that's a full-time
And
job.
and you know, obviously my husband works long, late hours, so it's trying to get that balance that
Yeah.
I just need to find that happy balance, you know, and just get. I mean, I've done it before. I can do it again,
yeah.
you know.
So you're in the property game, right? So do you sell houses?
Yeah.
So you know, you see in the movies, my property guru is a fantastic character named Phil Dunphy from Modern Family. So you see these guys on a Sunday, they put their posters or the pictures that the house. You've had to have new pictures made, because if I saw the old picture, if I saw the old Debbie, if I pitched up at a new house that you were saying, I said, I'm looking
Yeah,
for
it's
Debbie, and it's
not the person,
it's
yeah.
not the person. You know?
Luckily, we don't have faces
Luckily
on
we
our
don't have
boards.
Oh,
faces.
you
Yeah.
don't have faces on the
No,
board.
just my
Okay.
branding. Yeah.
Now, you obviously are getting an influx of calls and messages and WhatsApps, and it's starting to maybe overlap on the business side of things as well, maybe. So what is your long-term plan now to get this story out besides the podcast? You were mentioning maybe having a big function where you'd invite
Yeah,
everybody.
I would like to. I'm in the process of, like, I want to have like a, what would you call it, a conference, where people buy tickets and, you know, everyone goes for a talk and
Yeah,
get sponsors and, you know, get people to come and talk, share the story, let women connect. Not only women, if men want to as well, because women aren't the only people that struggle. You know, like, kind of have a motivation talk for everybody to share and, you know, find out how to go about this, what route to take, you know, share the story. And get other people to step forward and, you know, have everyone get on the same kind of path, like get all the information that they
Because there
need.
seems to be, there's so much misinformation out there. They don't know what information is true, and they don't know who to turn to.
Exactly, yeah.
Now, all of a sudden, here in East London, one of our own has gone through this transformational change.
And it's all been natural.
It's natural.
It's all been
and
natural.
everything's just seemed to be happening so quickly. I mean, what you've done in 12 months, some people will never do in their entire lifetime.
Exactly,
You know, and
yeah.
that just shows you the power of consistency and associating with the right people.
Exactly,
and getting the job done.
Doing the right research, having the support, consistent, determined, motivation.
100%. You have to have that support, I think. And for me, yes, there's been a lot of support, but when I get into bed at night and I think about my support, I think about who's really been there with me throughout this whole journey. I mean, Karen started from day one, you know, and then obviously Sarah. I mean, oh wow, you know, it's not only my trainer, you know.
It's been
she's because of who she is, and in my life, the kind of human that she is, she inspires me. She inspires me. She supports me. Karen's exactly the same. So I think they're two phenomenal women in my life that have been there from the beginning, and will be there till the end.
Just keep pushing.
So once in a while, I mean, I don't know, do you like chocolate?
No.
No, okay.
I've got to say every tooth.
Okay.
So if I'm going to go and have a cheat now, maybe a Woolies burger or whatever, I'm thinking of maybe having something today. Yeah, it'll be something savory.
Okay.
I'm not a No.
Okay. So it's not a question of you going around the office looking in the drawers if there's seeing anything hidden, if she's going to fall off the wagon.
There's nothing. And if we do get something, it
Yeah.
immediately gets given to me, and I
Yeah.
take it home straight away for just in case. I mean, what's the point of leaving temptation?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so if you
know, a
take
lot
it
of
away,
people,
it's...
a lot of people can be like that.
Yeah.
And it's great. You have a house full of chips and
Yeah, chops.
and chops. I mean, chocolates and whatever. That's great. That's really. And if you
Yeah.
can stay on your path and you can keep
Yeah.
all those things in your house, that's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
We're all different. But for me, having come so far,
Yeah.
I just don't keep those things in my house because I don't buy them.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no reason to
Yeah,
buy
there's
them.
no
The only
Exactly.
reason I buy those things
Yeah.
if I have a function
Yeah.
or I have some girls around or I have people around,
Yeah.
that's different. But on your everyday, I'm not going to go home now, go to bed at night and think, oh, I want a packet of chips and a chocolate.
Yeah.
They're not there.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't have them in the
Most
house.
people, they go shopping when they're hungry and buy things they don't need.
Everything that,
And then if it's in the house, people almost have a thing, well, it's here, I shouldn't waste it. Let me at least finish it, and then tomorrow I'll start again.
I sometimes do that. Like I go to Woolies and I'll be starving,
Yeah.
and I'm going to get my groceries and stuff, and I'm absolutely starving,
Yeah.
and it could be over lunchtime, and I haven't had anything since my morning shake, and I'm really hungry. I will always, while I'm shopping, grab something and eat it, then pay for it at the till.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's always a packet of venison biltong. The
there you
packs
go.
of venison
Yeah.
biltong. I will always do that. I love doing that. By the time I've got to the counter, it's finished, and then I pay for it.
So,
Yeah.
what we're gathering from this hour and a half, 2 hours that we're chatting is that when you aim for perfection, you're never going to get it. You're going to feel disappointed. Rather aim for that 80-20, just work consistently and surround yourself with the good people and have a plan. You seem to have had
Yeah.
a plan. And it's not a generic plan that you go and download off
Yes.
the internet. You actually went and researched. Well, I'm assuming you helped a lot with the research as well.
Funny enough, no. I just listened. I listened, and she's basically
I've
done
got-
it all herself.
yeah,
She's
I've
been
got
teaching me.
so much to
Yeah.
share in terms of that, but it worked for me.
Yes,
It might
yes.
not work for the next person, but everything that I'm on and everything that I take, we can all be on.
Yes, yeah.
That's how
Yeah,
good
yeah, yeah.
everything is
I
that
think
I take on a daily basis.
That's what everybody
Yeah.
needs to realize is
Yeah.
that your plan, parts of it or a large part of it will
Yeah.
help other people. But
100%.
you still got to put in the personalization
Yes.
of what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah.
And what's quite sad is you see a lot of people do well initially, and then they fall off
Then
the
they fall off the
bandwagon
wagon,
and they
yeah.
end up not only putting the weight on, but they end up putting more weight
More,
on, and then
yeah.
you've got this entire cycle. So
Exactly.
the basis needs to be right. Why are you doing this? How are you doing it? Is it sustainable? Can you maintain it?
100% sustainable, and yes.
And it's always good
Yeah.
to seek, just go to your doctor. Because it's always nice, luckily my husband, he had done a full blood workup. So he knew where her strengths were, so you can easily adjust what you need to. If you have too much iron in your system, you now don't want to go and eat too much fish and make it worse. So there are ways that you can customize to make sure it's exactly what your body needs.
The point is, you're on a good journey now, and you want to take people on this journey with you. It's that's almost transcending just being on a
Yes.
diet or a lifestyle plan.
Yeah.
You've seen where it can go. You've seen it, what it can do, and now
Definitely.
you want to start helping other people.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
it's very inspirational to
Yeah,
see
yeah.
that, wow, okay. The
Yeah,
1st
we
of
live-
March,
we-
I'll start
yeah,
this.
We're living in a world where there's Palestine and Israel and Ukraine and Russia and the ANC and the DA and the elections, and we all get caught up in life, and here somebody
Yeah.
has actually taken a conscientious decision to say, I'm going to go from 120 to 57 to, I don't know where we're going to stop, 55 you mentioned?
It's a good lifestyle improvement,
The
So
point is
it's
sustainable.
great,
It's
yeah.
sustainable. Okay. Has this motivated you to try?
100%, 100%. Once I can get everything in order, I
you've got a
definitely,
full-
I'll just give it the 1st of March as a starting goal.
Yeah.
I won't quite take the 1st
as,
of
as I
Feb.
always say to the guys when we're doing the podcast and we're shooting here at the Cortex Hub and with the team here, you can't learn to drive a park car. You got to start. You're gonna
Yes.
fail a little bit here and there, but that's the point. It's take a step forward, see the perspective. If you don't like it, you can move back, because from what I've gathered, you're changing your diet from time to time and you're tweaking it and you find out what's working. I mean, that's the markers of a higher energy, of a
Yeah.
higher thought process, because what worked 6 months ago is not going to work for you now, and what's working for you now won't work in 6 months, because
Yes,
you're going to
yeah.
put on muscle and everything's going to change. So the point is you're evolving, you know, physically, emotionally, spiritually, everything. And I think that's quite nice, because we tend to think in terms of silos. Like
Yes.
it's work, and then it's gym, and then it's relationship, but everything is interconnected here, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
You just got to find the time, like the determination, like, you know, like just witnessing everything has been quite like, it can be done.
Yeah, obviously.
It
I mean,
can
you've got
be
a
done.
business,
It's,
you've got
yeah.
a daughter, you've got a social life, and in spite of all of that, you've
she's
done
done
it,
this,
you've
yeah.
done it, you know. Because I remember when I was growing up, somebody would ask me to do something, and I'd say, I don't have the time. And that's actually a lie. There's no such thing as I don't have the time. When somebody says that to you, what they're actually saying is, it's not a priority for me right now. Because if it's important, you will find
That's
the
true.
time.
Exactly.
I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger did it when he was in the army. People find the time. You find the time. I find the time to get it going. You know.
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe this story could inspire others to be healthier.
Exactly.
Because what's the point of living to a ripe old age but being unhealthy and suffering in health? You want to be 80, 90 and
fit.
you know, racing down the Northeast
Exactly.
Expressway, you know, well, hopefully not racing down.
Yeah, no, it's a tough one.
Yeah. So we're going to expect bigger things. I mean, I'm sure you say you've got thousands of people following you, left, right, center people contacting you. You need to do this now. You need to show people what's involved. And
Yeah, it'll be a good
yeah.
second job, hobby.
Second job, second hobby. You never know. You never know where the positivities can go. So, Debbie,
Thank
last word from you.
No, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I'm going to inspire a lot of people, and I'm ready for this journey. So,
Yeah. No, I'm actually unbelievably inspired, because when I saw it on Facebook, that I honestly didn't recognize the person from a year ago to the person now, and that is phenomenal. And we're all looking to make some sort of change, whether it's in our relationship, whether it's our career, whether it's our body. Point is, make a plan,
you can
tweak
do
it, and you can do it. And that's the whole point about being the man, and in this case the woman in the arena. Don't just read about it. Don't research to its nth degree. Get out there, start living your best life. This was inspirational, and I'm sure we're going to see you on the podcast again. Debbie, thank you so much.
you.
And everybody out there, go out and make sure you live your best life. Have a great day.